Greetings, metalheads. Welcome to another edition of the Friday 13th YouTube channel. Today, you're going to be listening to a new review of the new Hirax album, which is called Faster Than Death, released on Armageddon Music, and it's a fantastic album, folks. Very brutal, heavy thrash metal album. Now, I recently just interviewed Katon, so if you've not seen the review interviews, please check that out. It's in two parts. Part one, we're talking about the history of the band and his influences, and in part two, we're talking about the new album. So check out this interview as well. So, we're going to talk about the new album, Faster Than Death. Originally with the vocalist Katon W. Pena, was a fantastic singer, very brutal vocal range. With the band releasing the songs on the Metal Massacre release, it wasn't so long before the band was signed to Metal Blade Records. Blind Slagle saw the potential in the band and released the band's debut album in 1985 called Rage and Violence, which is a fantastic cult classic album, folks. With the successful debut album, which received some amazing reviews around the world, it wasn't long before the band would release their second album for Metal Blade. This was called Hate, Fear and Power in 1986. Now, if I had to compare the band's music, I'd say it's a cross between Detente, Whiplash, Exodus and Possessed. The band also have some crossover influences, and if I had to pick a certain band, I'd say D.R.I. Sadly, the band broke up after the second album, and Katon went on to form a band called Phantasm with Gene Hogan from Dark Angel and Roy McGovery, formerly the original bassist for Metallica. 2004 saw the band come back and release the next album, which was called The New Age of Terror, and the band's next album will be called El Rostro della Muerte, released in 2009. 5 years down the line, the band released their next album for Steelman Records. This would be called Immortal Legacy, which is a fantastic, brutal album. And like I said, 2025 sees the release of the new album, Faster Than Death. Now, the new album's an absolutely fantastic album, metalheads. It's really very powerful, a lot of rage and violence in there. And the current lineup for the band is Katon W. Pena on vocals, long-time member, Gonzalez on bass guitar, would have Emilio Marquez on drums, and on guitar would have Allan Chan. So that's the lineup for the latest Hirax album. Now, this album was mixed, mastered, and recorded by Max Norman. Now, Max is a fantastic producer. He's worked with some great bands back in the day, like Ozzy Osbourne, Dokken, Flotsam and Jetsam, and the list goes on. Also joining Max is Bill Matoy. Now, Bill Matoy has worked with so many great bands on Metal Blade Records. He recorded the bass and guitars for this album. In all, Max and Bill have done a fantastic production all around, engineering, production, whatever. It's a fantastic production, guys. Really solid and crisp, but it captures the real essence and power of Hirax. Now, this album only contains 9 songs. It's pretty short, but however, it does come with a very powerful, in-your-face thrash metal, old school metal. So now, folks, I'm going to say what the song titles are for the new album. So we'd open up with Drill Into the Brain. We'd have Armageddon, Drowned in Bodies, Faster Than Death, Psychotic Ward, Relentless, Reverence, Warlord's Command, and the last song will be called World's End. So that's the song titles for the new album. Now, briefly, I'm going to talk to you what I think about the new songs on this new album. We're going to open up with Drill Into the Brain. This is a really brutal song, folks. Kind of reminds me of 3 bands: Dark Angel, Gamasad, also Recipients of Death. Some of you guys out there may remember these bands. A couple of those bands were released albums on Wild Rag Records. Katon's vocals are on top form. He's really performing well on this album, especially on this song. Powerful, ranging, and straight-in-your-face metal. Next song is Armageddon. This reminds me of very much of New Jersey's thrashers, Whiplash. You think, listen to Ticket to Mayhem, Power and Pain, and if you do like those 2 albums, this is a great song for you. Very much in the vein of Whiplash. Another band that springs to mind when listening to the song Armageddon is old school Metal Blade band Viking, who released Do or Die or Man of Straw. 2 great albums. Next up is the song Drowned in Bodies. Now, this reminds me of 2 bands, Exodus, also a band called Wargasm, who released an album called Why Play Around. Damn, folks, this is a really brutal, heavy album. So if you do like previous Hirax albums, you ain't going to be disappointed with this new album. So all in all, this is a great album, folks. If you like old school thrash metal and the bands I've already mentioned, check out Hirax's new album, Faster Than Death. I'm going to give this 4.5 out of 5. It's released on Armageddon Records. Check out the review, check out the link, and leave some comments. And thanks for supporting Friday the 13th. Thanks for watching, metalheads. Be safe.